welcome to KROSS BARZ, the podcast where we discuss interesting topics with an alternative perspective. I am your co-host, Big O, and I have with me...
Hey, Tanae is back in the building one more time. Wait, with our special guest, Elder Sensei, y'all. The B-boy, the DJ, the MC, the graffiti artist, the internationally known rapper. Give it up, member of all the facts. Give it up for Elder Sensei, y'all. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Absolutely. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Elder Sensei. So now, first and foremost, where you hail from?
Well, I come from the city of, I'm in East Orange right now, where I live at.
East Orange, New Jersey.
Ill-Town, as we call it. Ill-Town.
Yes.
Okay.
Famous for Naughty by Nature.
Yes. Ill-Town. That's where they stole. That's where they stole my car in Ill-Town. Yeah, they sure did. Yes, they did. They stole my car in Ill-Town. Got it back. But they stole it.
Yeah, the town where they turn a college into a high school and back to a community college. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing, but it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. It's so
oh man, crazy.
It was like, yeah, they just say, hey, just go there and you come out with something. All right, but so East Orange, all right, cool. So now tell me, how was it growing up in East Orange, or are you just saying that's where you are right now? Did you grow up in East
Orange? I mostly grew up in East Orange. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. And I grew up mostly in East Orange. I went to East Orange High School. I graduated there. I lived in Irvington. I lived in Newark, but most of my life I lived in East Orange.
Got you. So you Essex County, baby. So when I hear that, like when you're born in Essex County, you get like one misdemeanor and like a possible felony by the time you're 12. I'm not sure. Is that true?
But I'll say this. Out here in New Jersey, a lot of people here have suspended license more than everybody. So there's a lot of people driving around with suspended license because the police around here and out here are notorious. Like,
and the insurance is sky high.
They're right behind you, pull you over before you can ask, like, what did I do, officer? No more of that, because they got all the computer system shit. So they'll see everything that's wrong with your car. Like, yeah, come here. So get me. And it's mostly, we got the tight laws, man, out here.
Okay. All right. So now growing up in East Orange, how did you were able to get into, let's say, your art and your craft, being that, during that time period, I know if you were a certain age, it was getting rough, the new thing of young kingpins.
Yeah, man.
New Jersey was the home of the teenage kingpins. Other places had old people and grown folks. We had 15, 16, and 17-year-old cats making millions of dollars.
Yes.
And how was you able to, navigate through those things?
Well, me growing up in East Orange was high school, grade school, right down the street from my house, VLD, Vernon L. Davies School, junior high school, was when that's when I did all my beginnings started there, as far as like b-boy battling. Shout out to my man Raheem Plummer. He was my first dude I ever battled, and we was going at it, and this was like early b-boy stuff. So this is the first time I go to a school, my first day there, and I'm in the lunchroom in the gymnasium rather. Everybody go in there to play out, get all your frustration before you go back into class. I'm in there b-boying, and they see me, and these dudes like, hey, yo, my man Raheem gonna battle you 3 o'clock after school. See you in the gym. I'm like, wow.
I remember that 3 o'clock. Okay. Everybody ooh, all day long, waiting for that, right?
So, me coming up then was like my early years of learning who I was as a b-boy, just getting into graffiti, and into music heavy, as far as like all of the people we know that are in our top 5, I listen to every Friday and Saturday on the radio, and not knowing one day I would get into it. But I always say those are my pre-game years, preliminary years, where I was really like learning, and some people was already gifted and some weren't. I was a student all the way through till I figured I was ready to bring my talent out. But my early years coming up, it was a crew called the Whiz Kids, and these dudes did magic and they b-boying. So they had dudes that like were pop specialists, b-boys but they would have shows where they would do magic at the same time they doing all the b-boy stuff. So
Wow.
it was like structured. You know, my man Kirk, you know, my man Nathan, Brian, it was a crew around here called Break Force.
Okay.
These are
Wow.
all my guys I grew up with and still friends with to this day. You know, and you know it's good to see all this stuff because my friends that follow me know my beginning. So to see me doing what I'm doing now is not far
Right.
from what I was doing as a kid and in my early teenage years.
Okay. So I want to know something that many people in the breaking music and old school community, when y'all all made your t-shirts, did you iron on your letters or did you get it spray painted? That's we
No,
gotta
we did both. Only way you was gonna get spray paint on your shirts or whatever, you had to go to Union Market.
uh-huh.
This
Yes.
is like a flea
Yes.
market, like a
Yes.
big
Yes.
spot you go to like before the mall. So you
Yes.
go to Union Market and it'll
That's
be a
right.
dude in there that knew how to do graffiti. He had this
Yes.
airbrush and everything like that. So you
Yeah.
did that. But in that same mall, Union Market, you would buy the Chinese letters and the iron-on joints to put on your sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, because
I
I
love
had
it. I love it.
I had to know.
That was inexpensive. So you could do that all day. So when you would go to you had the talent show, and we had to battle other groups or whatever. We would get the Chinese letters
Get
and
fresh. That's
put the
so
lightning
funny.
bolts on the top for the accents right here. So
Yeah.
yeah, we did
That's
all of that. We did
hilarious.
all of that.
Okay. Because I gotta ask this question because the iron on came first, then the airbrush came. So I'm like, all
Right.
right,
The airbrush was fly though. The
But
yeah,
airbrush was
the
the
airbrush
airbrush
came
was fly.
after. The airbrush, so
came
like
after.
when the airbrush came, you talking about like going to New York and
Yeah,
trying to be official. You go
Yes.
to Shirt Kings and all them dudes up in Harlem. You go on 125th.
yeah,
That's when you was you had bread to go do that though, because
yeah,
that's where the butter leathers was over there. But as a kid, we would go to Union Market or we
yeah,
go to this place called USA One. That was like going to like Trenton, New Jersey. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like a bigger thing than the Union Market was. So we would
yeah.
go there too.
Wow.
That was in New Brunswick. Goodness gracious, he said like on the
Exactly.
Trinity.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
See, look, you probably forgot about that. Look.
Listen, listen. I'm a connoisseur. You go to New Brunswick, US One Market now is a movie theater. But yeah, used to go to Route 109, go to the big flea market, walk around that
Yep.
big
Yes.
warehouse
Yep. For
Yes.
and
days, you
try to
walk around
have
shit for days. You'll be like, all
And
right, it's
all
time
them
to go. It's
little
time to go.
bitty little all the way
yeah,
around.
Yep.
Absolutely.
all day.
That's
All right.
fun. I missed
So
that.
so now getting into your b-boying and everything, what was your inspiration? Like what was the song that you heard like, oh, I gotta get this? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I felt some kind of way when what is it? What is it? Gladys Knights when she had the pop
Yeah.
locker joints in there,
Overtime.
overtime, and the little those came in there. I said, yo, he's stealing my whole style right there. That young boy stole my whole style. That's me
Right.
coming down the
Oh,
steps
he
and thinking
stole
I
your
was.
style. He
My
That's
man
stole
what
came
I
your
all the way
thought.
down the stairs and then went
Yeah,
right into his windmills. Right.
yeah. I was like, yo, he's still my style. But at the same time, see me. I'm a connoisseur. I hit you with the shirt question. I'm
Right.
gonna hit you with another one. All right. What was your first nickname?
Oh man.
Now, give me the real.
Actually, I didn't have one. Like, cause like I said, I started off on b-boying, so like I can't even remember the crew name we had. Like when we did,
Nah,
we would go.
yours.
We
You
were
got a
mine.
name.
My first name was my rap name.
I know, but what
But
was your first
it was,
nickname?
but instead of Elder Sensei, it was MC Elder Sensei.
Okay, that's
Oh,
So
even
still
more.
the
I
elder
didn't have
sis.
too many. I didn't have too many names. I didn't have a
Okay.
b-boy name. If anything, I was known around the neighborhood because I was kind of tall. So I was taller than all my other friends that was b-boy. So like I started b-boying, I would say traditionally, where I saw other people doing it, and like you said, I saw people doing it on TV. Where like I grew up in the Spanish area. I grew up down there on Baxter Terrace
Gotcha,
projects,
gotcha.
down on like Broadway, all in like kind of like say
By
North
the
Newark,
water.
but yeah.
Gotcha.
So I was down
Hmm.
there, and all my friends were Spanish. Like we all like every b-boy that I knew was Puerto Rican or some kind of Spanish, and I was the only black dude that hung with them. That was, and I didn't pop. A lot of my black friends was popping more than they was on the floor.
Oh,
And
gotcha,
this
gotcha,
is like
gotcha.
Ah.
so. A lot of times, like Star and Buck, Star from Star and Buck Wild, he used to always say, like, he used to see a lot of the Spanish dudes was into the b-boy and on the floor moves, and all the black
Yeah.
dudes was not so much into that. That was like a Spanish movement, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
But
no doubt.
that's how I was like one of the first in my area to learn how to do windmills and hit the floor, because I was going to New York with my parents. We would go watch the Square Park, and I'm
Oh
watching
yes.
these dudes there. Like, I remember one
Absolutely.
time in Newark, we had a place we used to go to called the Vinegar, and the Vinegar was like a place you would go to after school. Something for, not say trouble you used to go to do, but this was a place where cats would practice tumbling, gymnastics.
Mm.
It was like the floors was padded, so you had wrestling teams in there and stuff. And one day, me and my boys was in there, and I won't lie, we saw Crazy Legs coming there one time,
Oh, word.
and
Wow.
we was shocked. We was like, oh wow, what the? And that was and I told Legs about this. He said he used to come to Jersey, but he don't remember that day, of course. But for us, we was like, wow, okay. And he took off, and we asked him for tips and pointers or whatever, and he just showed us his knees from when he just, no knee pads on, and he said, "Yo, practice. That's all I'm gonna tell you how to do.
Right.
Practice, practice." And that we did. So like
Okay.
my early things of and my song that we used to get busy off was Art of Noise. Uh,
Oh
Box. That name. I
yeah.
think for anybody that when that
Bars on that.
when that came on, that's
Yeah.
when you like move everybody. I'm going next.
My
Yeah.
turn.
I'm going next. Yo.
Yeah, hold up.
Wow. That's super
So,
dope. That's super
so
dope.
I was a amateur b-boy. You know what I mean? I used to
Mhm.
go by the cool old ski. You know, I was with the
Everybody had a ski
ski.
on their name.
Yeah, the
That's
ski.
what he was talking about.
Yeah, I was old ski for a minute. You know what I mean? I used to have a mean knee spin. I used to have a knee spin and I used to go around like that. And then I tried to do it, I get to a windmill, but I tried to take it a step notch higher and get to the Burger King. So the Burger King, most people don't know, is
What's
that's
the
a
Burger
windmill.
King?
What's the
Yeah.
Burger King?
Oh, that's the windmill without the hands. That's
Okay.
basically you on the
Oh, when you
shoulder.
like do the
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
windmill,
The
but you don't
Burger
use your
King.
hands.
What that got to
Yeah, well, you used to call it Burger King because you had the backspin, and then after the backspin, you had to hit the pole, the freeze pose, and then the windmill. You just sometimes you would go into something crazy like the cats from New York and hit the windmill and go into a handstand, or and then
That
they
was
hit
me.
the
you
hand.
That was
gotta
me.
that's so
Yeah.
much core strength you gotta have to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
listen,
You gotta have all of that. I'm just saying, as a female, when we used to see those guys on the corner, man, with the cardboard box, that was like exciting. That like that's a real part of hip hop that to me that's missing. You know what I mean? I know they talk about all these elements of hip hop. So my question to you, other sensei, is what they say is you got your breakdance, you got your DJ, you got your graffiti, you got your what I'm missing something. Your
MCing
MCing.
and DJing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're MCing. So like today, what do you think that's missing that could we bring it back or could it ever be brought back out of all those elements?
Well, today, artists don't use those elements that we used, back then. Back then, today the elements are the internet and the phone and YouTube, and so like
Technology.
yeah, technology. Period. Us getting out the word was us putting our names on walls and made sure everybody knew who we were, and just the battling part. These the elements of graffiti are like non-existent when it comes to these cats today. I mean, it comes in with the branding, but it's not like uh, uh, I don't know a lot of young cats that do graffiti. Let's just say that. I don't.
Right.
I know them. I know some of them, and they make themselves known. But this generation as a whole doesn't feel as though they need to practice the elements that we practice, because they're past that. You know what I'm saying? Or it's they like, old school, and like you said, not it's analog technology. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Almost like a
Got you. Got you.
rare thing today. But yet, the digital age has hit a ceiling when you talk about the music. Where it's like they're using elements of the vinyl again, selling more than digital.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they keep going up and up. So it just shows you that no matter what, you gotta come back to these
Right.
elements. I would say on the ground, The elements are
Right.
used more on the ground, I would say, like, because I go to Europe right now and it's still graffitied out. Like everywhere you go, every city, Paris, Germany, you name it, Denmark.
Right.
Shout out to One Up Graffiti Cats out in Europe. They on everywhere. So I know for a
Wow.
fact. So some when you on the ground, even when it comes to like they do have still like b-boy battles in some of these countries in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things DJ battles that still go on, but
Right.
in America and Red Bull, I salute them because they keep all that stuff going too with the competitions that they have. Even
Mm-hmm.
with dancing and b-boying, they still have all that stuff. So they mix the elements up. It's out there in the world, and I don't think enough people know that this stuff still exists like that, like prevalent.
Right.
Just that a lot of people don't see it.
Okay,
Gotta travel.
so looking at what you're saying, because you touch on several topics. So the first point I want to touch on is that do you believe that when the business came into hip hop, that the art kind of left? So it seems like the art form of hip hop left when the business actually came in and put their tentacles into artists and the art form itself.
I mean, ain't that with everything though? Anything that we have new and people try to everybody get a hold of it, it seems to change when it gets into the corporate hands. You know, what I will say is that today is a lot different than when you talk about all of us back in the day only being like in our early 20s trying to learn as we were
Mm-hmm.
going along doing this. So you have people that when they do get their hands on it, it's a thing of because of the moment and because it's happening at the moment, people, try to get it out while it's happening. So a lot of times with a lot of the things that was happening that was big, when you look at the artists that it was happening to, and you look at
Mm-hmm.
the more mainstream artists, the labels was like, okay, we're not everybody not gonna be a Will Smith or a major artist. So like once they started signing the more like underground groups, this is where the underground part come in at. A lot
Right.
of major labels were signing underground artists, whether if it was
At Artifacts.
right,
You
right.
guys were
We were on
underground when
Atlantic.
you got,
A
yeah.
lot of people was on Atlantic. We were on major record deals, but because it didn't sell as much as the commercial part, year by year and little by little, uh,
Right.
it was harder for the labels to market us because they didn't know
Gotcha.
what they were doing either. Like to say, we're a major label. You talking about when Priority Records was
Yes.
the independent, Def Jam was even an
Right.
independent label in itself.
Yes.
So when you're
Yes.
working with a certain kind of artist, you can pinpoint kind of like with Def Jam had LL, whether it was Redman, Method Man, Jay Z, you name a lot of these people, it was
Right.
like more on the ground dudes than say like so astronomically blown. So with us and groups like myself and Artifacts and like Cellar Dwellers, a lot of group Mob Deep, even though we were
Right.
a lot of the labels were subsidiary under even under a major. So when they saw things that could happen, I would think that it all comes in with the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like is the art a lot of the records that blew up, whether it was Lost Pro, Main Source, Pete Rock, CL
Yes.
Smooth, Beating Us,
Right.
Organized Confusion,
Wow.
Common,
Yes. Yes.
we were all the same, but it's all our labels was different. But when you had a label that was more, say like when Common was on Relativity, Relativity had Common and Beat Nuts and Fat Joe. So when you look at that umbrella, it was able to market a little better than say with us on Atlantic. It was hip hop groups, R&B groups, rock groups, and all these different
Right.
people. So
Yes.
what they gonna go with what they gonna go when they see what's gonna sell first.
Okay.
And
So how do you? I got.
and
No, go
but
ahead. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say. So how do you make the balance between that? Like, how do you navigate the balance between staying true to like your artistic vision versus meeting these industry expectations? Like,
right.
how do you stay true to you without watering down who you really are?
And fortunately, me and Tame didn't have to go through that. Whereas
Good
that
deal.
because we were kind of on top of what we know what we wanted to do and say, we really had no challenges on the music. We had a good A&R too. Shout out to Rob
Bars,
Chulo, Daddy Reef.
bars on it.
He was on the ground with us. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like anything we needed, whether if it was creative things, producer. I mean, it wasn't a lot of stuff we needed, but he had us directed with the people that we
Yeah.
needed to be with, whether if it was T Ray, Buck Wild, K Def.
Wow.
You know, we were surrounded around things already that artistically was helping us, even when we did both albums, Sean J. Period. We didn't have
Right.
to compete with people at the label because they was like, "Shit, sound good to me." So we were straight. But the only
Gotcha.
thing creatively that happened is where the part where the people that work at the label and us being an artist, that's what would clash a lot. Because
Gotcha.
when we would go on tour and they would see the breakdown of where we would sell records at, and we would be like, okay, let's go there. And a lot of times we didn't get to go there to the places that we knew we were selling.
Right.
And then with the
Right.
label part,
Right.
you got people getting hired, people getting fired. So it was nobody really like one person we could count on to say, let's do this work. And whether it be the marketing or the promotion, a lot of things was getting mixed up. So
Gotcha.
that happened with a lot of groups. But creatively,
For sure.
that's why y'all heard the two albums like y'all heard and all the singles we did,
Yes.
because they pretty much ain't bother us.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So
That's
now
right.
Everybody else though, hey, that's a different story.
That's
yeah.
on them.
So my question now, my second part of my question, because hearing what you're saying, there was no continuity, people hired, fire. But now for the art form of b-boying, do you feel as though the Asians just housed and co-opted the whole b-boy style now?
No, hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man.
they in though. They
They
be
killing it.
This
They
they
this
killing
kill
the
is
it.
Asians.
look, and this is for a whole nother interview that y'all can have on a whole nother topic. I'm about to tell you. You have to understand why that was happening and who's responsible for it.
School
So,
me.
but now this is worldwide though. But Asian wise, I would say this. Uh, it's my man Buddha Stretch is from a
Buddha
crew
stretch.
called the Mop Tops. Mop Tops crew. My man Prince Low, um, Rubber Band, Loose Joint, all these guys that you saw in Mariah Carey videos, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Remember the Time videos,
Mm-hmm.
Layla Hathaway old video where she had these guys in the background dancing. A lot of videos where you seen these guys dancing, and they wound up going to Japan, wound up going to China to teach these people how to dance. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a younger crowd, as you say, because the nostalgia has always been there. It's always been there,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Japan. So my man Prince just went out there. They all these dudes I just named. These are the club dancers of New York. IOU
Wow.
dancers. All the
IOU dancers?
yeah. These are dudes. These are original
Yo.
cats from these times that have over the years been going back and forth to Japan, going back and forth to Europe. Buddha Stretch is like the one of the bigger choreographers still today from our time. And when I see these,
Mm.
and just like you said, when I see these Instagram and look, a lot of these videos they dancing off some of my songs. I have a song called "I Ain't Tripping." Me and my man Ghetto
Mm-hmm.
Socks 10 Buck 2. It was produced by a Polish guy in Japan right now. When that song comes on, there's a certain amount of
They get
people
busy.
that may know this routine that these guys have made up out there, and they do the routine. And I'm
Oh
like, look
wow.
at this song, it's old. And
Yeah.
they adopted it to this freestyle dancing that they doing. And I went to Japan in 2018, and when I did the song, everybody in the crowd knew what it was, and they just started doing this routine because they was at these shows where these guys were doing big routines at these concerts and battles and stuff. So it's like I always think about that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about them, and I was like, well, I know who fault that is, but a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know that these guys are doing that. So even me talking about it today is probably giving a lot more information that maybe like
Yeah.
stretching them don't even
I,
get to tell all the time.
I didn't even know. I just Googled what you said, and
Yeah,
automatically I got this thing that said top 5 Japanese b-boys came up in all of their crews. All I did was
correct.
type in Asian b-boys,
Yep.
and it came up with a whole bunch of people,
And
Japanese from Tokyo that I've never even heard of, but
yes, if you and
they
if
bring
you
they're
put in
they're
if you
still
put in
doing it right now.
put in Mop Tops crew and or just put in Buddha Stretch Buddha Buddha. If I'm not mistaken. And even
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, you can follow Stretch on there, and you'll see him in class with these guys. It's like thousands
Mob
of people
Top
standing
Screw.
behind him,
Oh my goodness.
and
They
he's
got
teaching the class.
thousands of subscribers,
Right, right,
72,000
right.
subscribers, to their channel. That's dope. Because people
Yeah,
don't realize that. And we think that it's old and out, and the only reference we have to it is if we go back to break in or Beat Street or
right.
some old school. They need to, I mean, they do it in some of the dance movies and they might break dance or whatever, but yeah, they need to we don't know
And
this. So I'm
one of
actually glad you said that.
one of the teachers of those classes is Loose Joint, and he's the kid in the B Street movie with him and the smaller guy doing their routine, trying to audition for the show.
Oh
This man is
wow.
still getting busy today.
Wow.
Yo,
You
is
know
the
what to do with the afro?
yo you yeah
Wow.
is he the same one that was in Last Dragon as the little brother?
No, no. I know you're talking about, but the dude, like when you watch B Street, next time you watch B Street, when they do the
Yeah,
audition in the Roxy,
yeah,
the two black kids that's
yeah,
on the stage, one smaller dude, one bigger dude, and they popping their ass off.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Loose Joint with the fro, the bigger guy. He's still rocking like that.
Got you.
Wow. We need
The
to
reason
get him on Cross Bars.
yeah. The reason why
Yeah.
I asked that is because I remember like some of the movies back in the day,
I
they
know who you're talking
cross
about too.
they cross brand. I was like, hold on. That dude used to be pop and do different things. And now, like for instance, this is one of my pastimes that I love doing. I think I'm the only person in the world that does this. I look at old videos and I try to look in the people who in them and say, oh, that person's a star now.
Oh
So
yeah,
for
yeah,
instance,
definitely. I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do
For
that a lot.
sure. Yeah. I
so
do that
for it,
too. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
for instance, right? Will Smith, right? Parents can't understand video. You know who the girl was? The girl that was in the car that was 16 that he got pulled over with? Do you know
Who?
who that video vixen was?
Who was it?
Who is that?
Vanessa Williams, the dark
Oh, true.
Vanessa
Yes, indeed.
Williams.
Right,
Oh,
right,
the
right.
brown one. Right.
The
Right.
one
Right.
from
Right.
Rockabye Baby from yeah, New Jack City. That Vanessa Williams. Soul Food. That's her.
Wow.
You
I
know,
love that. I love that. That's
Will
great.
Smith, he had the what is it? Summertime. And the
Right.
girls that was blowing them kisses. That's what's the girl that was in Hitch with the movie with him? The Spanish girl. Eva
Oh wow.
Mendes. That's
That's
Eva
crazy. That's
Mendes.
crazy. Okay.
You know, the other girl, that's in Freddie Jackson, because this is all I saw last night. I was bugging out. The one that's in Freddie, like tonight, Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
The girl that was there looking all cute and seductive, that's the girl. I forget her name. She got a French name, Bouvier or something. But she was the one that was in the movie Ali.
Yeah.
Remember, and
I
she was
don't
that
know.
reporter with the real. No, I know which one movie. You know, New Jack City, where he said, "You're a murderer, Neo." He probably like cancel that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
her in the Freddie Jackson video. So I'm just sitting there
Wow.
looking like,
I love that.
Look.
yeah,
How you think we felt back in the day watching Check the Technique video with Rakim, and the guy playing the bass is Wyclef.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
And
that's
then not
That's
knowing,
dope.
we knew him. We were like, why is he there
yeah.
playing
Right.
the bass for Rakim?
So like all these little nuances and like I call it seasoning. Like I stole it from somebody, but I don't remember. So God bless. When you put the record, the vinyl on, and then you
Right.
hear that,
Yeah,
Yeah, crispy.
that.
that little
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
like chicken frying or something
Right.
like that. All those little nuances in those videos and things like that I call seasoning, just like that. Like, oh, that person became that person.
Yeah.
That
I
person
love that.
became this, and that's super awesome. But let's get back more to
Hey, I got a
you and
question.
the
So,
book
are
part.
you Elder Sensei? Are you in anything like that we don't know about? That you were like behind the scenes or in
Yep.
something that
Yep.
we could go back and look and be like, oh, he was in
Yep.
that. Give
Which
it to
which
us. Give
one?
it to
Actually,
us. Where
y'all
you
gonna be
got it?
shocked. Y'all gonna be surprised at this one. Okay.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Go ahead.
Yes, you can. You can look, and you can go and you go to YouTube and you can freeze frame it and everything. So, Fuji's Nappy Heads video. The part when
Mm,
Lauren is in the cipher with all the guys
yeah,
in the
Yeah.
circle and they all in the bopping in the cipher.
yeah.
Find the video and freeze frame, and you'll see me, Tame, John Forte. But yeah,
Wow.
but you got to look for Forte though. He's in there, but you'll see me and Tame standing right next to her. Because like a lot of people don't know. Jersey run deep. Lauren
Right.
we used to
Yes.
go see Lauren at her high school at Columbia and sneak in her school to watch her do talent
Talent
shows and
shows.
plays and stuff like that. So
Wow.
and known fact, that's why she said on her song, "I'm tame like the rapper," because she knew us.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
we all from the same area,
Bars,
not too far from each
bars,
other.
bars.
No, look. Shout out
Love
to
that.
St. Look, shout out to St. Mary's. She went to that private school right
Right,
there.
right, right. uh-huh. Right.
How big gonna know that? Because I was hollering at a couple of them.
I love that. That's good to know though. But it's good to see how, you come up through the ranks that people don't know, what you've done. They just know you as this and they don't know you as this. And
Right.
that's what crossbars. We want to know the stuff that people might not know about, or like he said, the little seasonings
Look,
that,
everybody gonna
kind
be
of
like,
made
"Oh
you who
damn, I
you
didn't know
are.
that. Now I gotta look. Oh
Yeah, we're gonna
shit."
go back to the video. Like that video gonna
Mhm.
get views now. We're gonna make sure it gets some more views.
Right.
Yeah, look, quick story. So what is that? Skate park. What is that? Was it action? No, skate park on 22. What was the little video?
Skate 22.
Bergenfield. Okay, 22 was in Union, and
Yeah, but
Union.
Bergenfield
Union.
was up there,
no, the
uh,
the, the one that had the arcades and the little arcades, the pool table. I forget what that was called.
that was 22.
Yeah, I know, but it was called something else. It wasn't skate park. It was some park.
The
But
skate
anyway,
22. She right,
skate
she
20.
said it.
Yeah, so I'm up there. See Lauren, crew. I'm up there, game in the brain. I'm looking at them. Lauren's like, yo, you better talk to him. I'm sitting there like, yeah, you better talk to me. You know what I mean? I'm up there trying to run game, and it was downhill from there. Downhill from there.
You
But
ain't know Lauren was a star. She was a star already, bro.
uh,
Right.
Before she
but
did anything.
but this is the catch. My friend, I'm with my man Mark. You know what I mean? He ain't know who they like. They just regular girl. Like she got like 5, 6 of her friends from school. I'm
Right.
looking at her with a hat on, like I know who she is, but I ain't going front. Like, oh my god, like yeah. But I'm looking at her friends. Yo, shout out to Shay. And I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, okay. And I'm up here cutting up because I'm me full time. Anybody who know me, like, yo, he act like this and that. Nah, I'm this full time. So I'm like trying to bug out and everything. And, later on, I saw, she had star power, but I didn't know she could rap like that. So now what
Oh
I want
yeah.
to ask you is that when she was in the freestyle, because Jersey got some of the nicest spitters in the world.
Yeah.
Was she
Yes.
able to hold her own with you guys?
Yes. Yes. But see,
Bars.
but this is the thing though. She didn't have to do none of that. Like with doing what she did, that was extra. The rapping and singing part.
Mm.
She's already bro. She was already on the soap operas.
Yeah.
Like we knew this about her. So when the ramen part came, we was like, oh, and that too. But see, when that
Mm-hmm.
came out is when everybody saw the movie. So they saw her sing on and doing that. Like I said, when we knew her as acting,
Yeah.
doing plays,
Right.
doing the talent show, singing and stuff. But I will say when we heard her rhyme, it was like right around the corner from my house. That's where the Booger Basement was at. And this is before I was around here. They was around there was making this music happen, and right under everybody's noses. And so that's what I mean. Like
Right.
when it did happen, I knew Proswell as a dancer. You know what I'm saying, in the clubs.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he was a
So
dancer?
when yes, it was
I didn't know Prize was a
Blinky and
dancer.
Blinky. We had a couple of dudes down there just go to Sensei.
Winky and Blinky.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yo, so they was like the scoop and scrap of Jersey instead
Yeah.
of being Brooklyn.
Yes.
Winky
These
and
dudes,
Blinky.
and look them.
And slip and slide. Oh wow.
My man Grumpy, he rhymed now, but he was the dancer back then. We all used to, and this was like in Sensations, was the back room. Like in the front was
Oh,
where
Sensei.
the main music would be played, radio
And you
stuff.
got
You go in the back room,
that's the
that's
club.
where all the hip hop is at, and we was
Love
there back
it.
there dancing
Bars.
But
all
I
Yeah.
want
night.
I want to know. I want to know right now. I'll give a shout out to people in Plainfield, New Jersey. A hometown. Yo, what you know about them Lost Boys coming around there? The Lost Boys was like ripping and running during the late '80s, early '90s.
And
Kind of,
Plainfield,
yeah.
we Plainfield was like a small Newark. You know what I'm saying? Like only around where that chicken store was at.
Oh shit, the chicken store.
The
Yeah,
chicken
around
store.
there. Because I don't know the streets, but it was a chicken shack around there. But there in the school, it was. I remember one time we did a show up there, and Kid Capri was DJing, and we was rocking, and there was a lot of cats in there. But like we knew, like it would be Newark. You hit 22. The only hood thing about 22 was Plainfield.
Yeah.
Going to a union. Once you passed Plainfield, it was like, all right, now it's
Ain't
Trenton and all
nothing
that
else
stuff. But
after that.
wasn't no more hood.
Right.
Country. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like South Jersey different. South Jersey different.
Yeah.
Bars
That's
on
funny.
that.
He said go down 22. He's like Plainville. Then the rest, he's like, man, that shit country.
Nah, because look, that's where we didn't go. That's where we didn't go.
No, you were there. No, watch this. You were there. You went past Plainville because why? You went to Annandale. Everybody know Annandale with that
Yeah,
beach.
yep. And that my cousin was up there. My cousin was up there, bro. Trust me. Jail up there.
So you was playing until you kept on going a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You went to Annandale because everybody
Because after 22,
That's hilarious.
after Plainfield is,
the country.
78 and all that shit, we ain't play with that. 22
Ain't nothing. Yeah.
Now you venturing away from home, and now that's where we knew the police was out there.
All day. But now you're known as a b-boy. You're traveling. Now some of your close friends, they're actually becoming household names and stars. Then now, how did you actually navigate in this? Because you had the Fugees, they had the first album that didn't do so well. Second one, they just blew the roof off with the score. And then you got Native Tongue, you got Redman budding, the Outsiders, Outlaws, and then what's my boy's name from East Orange? Oh my gosh, it's just losing my name. I used to play Rod Rascals. I used to play football against them cats. I used to hate them cats. I'm sitting there like, yo,
my man Jesus
watch this. When they came to Playboy, they was like, yo, watch that dude. The middle one, that was me. I was the dude that was like, they hated me. I tried to kill them cats. But them dudes was nice. So now the Rascals got a little buzz, and now we're trying to get worldwide buzz. How did you navigate in that and trying to figure out, are you going to just do graffiti? Are you going to go more MC-ish? Are you going to be dancers along with the bigger groups? How did you navigate during that time period?
So when me and Tame put out our first album, we put out our first album amongst, like, now you might as well say kings and people that you say are on hip hop Mount Rushmore. So like,
what's the name of that first album first? What's the name of the first album?
First album is called Between the Rock and the Hard Place.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And imagine putting out your album in the same week as Method Man, Redman, Biggie, Keith Murray, EPMD, like every rap in the game. So like that, the label told us, but that was y'all test, like to see how y'all do that first week. And that first week we did very well, and they were surprised. So like that was our competition. Our like people who we were putting up records against. Common, but that first week was all those people I named. So like we found ourselves in a situation where the label said, yo, y'all gonna do this promo tour. Where y'all want to go first? Y'all want to go to Cali or y'all want to do the East Coast? Like, we from the East Coast, so why do that? We went to Cali.
Right.
And we was out there for maybe like 3 weeks. We did LA, San Francisco, all the Santa Anas and Sacramentos and all this stuff we did. And we saw, because going to Cali, that was my first time on a plane. We saw only movies about being out there, and we found out that cats in the West Coast was just like us here, just lived in California, and they rhymed just as much as we did. It was, I loved it, but it was a thing that we probably did a big favor for ourselves because we did that.
Right.
We were more known over there than we was at home. But then when we came back home from the tour, we did the same thing we did out there, and everything was just like, so for us. And when we first dropped, even with the second album, it was the same thing, coming out amongst all these other people. So it's like we had to make a name for ourselves in a way where we used the platform of us being underground artists to catapult ourselves into a field of artists that, when you look at it now, we all was talking about the elements. We all were talking about, the just the whole like the whole battle scene at the time was big,
Right.
but with beats attached to it. So I always tell people, if you made it in them times to still be making records today, that's a testament to your hustle and a testament to your craft,
Bars.
because
Bars.
those are the things that separate yourself from all of the groups. When they ask you back then in the interviews, what make yourself different from everybody else? Me and
Right.
Tame
That was
knew.
my
Me and
question.
Tame
Right.
knew. Me and Tame knew that because of the way we were as MCs and what we were talking about was making us different from everybody else already, because we knew that the label had at least that in us, to where it was like, yo, if anything, we knew these dudes could spit. So, we could work on everything else. But then at the same time, it was just a magical thing that was happening, I would say, in a sense too, to where it was like the timing of how hip hop was. No one was
Right.
talking about the elements before me and Tame came with that song,
Yeah.
and we made a song about an important element that was for the visual, and then because me and Tame was black, with a lot of the graffiti artists that in the world today, that are a lot more famous or became famous, weren't all black.
Yeah.
So when you
Right.
talk about me and Tane coming, people would meet us and be like, "Wow, okay, you know, damn," and it was real. It was not fake. It wasn't a fake thing. We wasn't graffiti artists trying to rap. We wasn't rappers trying to do graffiti. It was just
It was
when people
who you
got to
were.
meet us,
Yeah.
they saw that it was genuine, because that was what made us go. A lot of people felt like me and Tane was just like them. It's just that we happen to be making records.
Okay. So now my question goes, when you went to the West Coast, um, like I had a personal affinity towards Razcast and the Souls of Mischief because
Mhm.
they seem like, they could come from Plainfield, Elizabeth, East
Right.
Orange, Newark, like they
Mhm.
could have, you could take Razcast and put them right in North and be like,
Anywhere, right.
Right.
right there.
Bars.
Souls of Mischief reminded me of cats that like Rotten Rascals. It was
Yeah.
just like they was the Rotten Rascals of Oakland.
Hmm.
That was just it. And so when you're saying that, I'm listening. I'm like, yo, you right. But now this is the part where me as looking at it, because I've always been a spectator. I've
Right.
never claimed to be an artist because I have too much respect for artists. I
Bars.
spit my little. I told this story before. I wrote my little rhymes about to spit, and then KRS One came out with "You Must Learn." He spit the whole Bible, and I said, "Oh, it was done." It's over. It was done. I said, I can't do that, so I was done. But the artistry, whereas now where people can get behind a keyboard and do something and create this image, whereas before you had to go to talent shows
Right.
and people would boo you. So like
Right.
you told me, like, yeah, we went to play by the chicken spot and we did the talent show, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. And if
They
you
let
wasn't
you know.
nice, let you know. And I think that was almost the litmus test, because if you went through that, I don't think some of these artists would be trying some of
No,
these
you're
gimmicky
right.
beats.
You're right. But when it comes to the machine that it is today, there's
Mm-hmm.
no A&R. There's no guy like in Five Heartbeats with the old dude telling them
Yeah,
how to dance. There's
correct.
Right.
nobody telling them, yo, y'all stink. It's like, and y'all got to
They need that.
take that and get
Right.
better at it, because like, do better. So like that's the thing that's missing today, where it's like no guidance at all for these cats to understand that, y'all do
Right.
realize that y'all gonna, even if y'all make these records, y'all gonna do a show. You know that, right? You're gonna
You
have to
gotta do
stand
a
in.
show.
I suggest that you go stand in front of a mirror today and look at how you look on stage, rather than you just turn around shaking
Bars.
your ass. And I'm
Yeah.
saying, even for dudes today, like even for Jay-Z, it got to a point where he was like, yo, you know what? I'm watching myself on this pay-per-view shit, and all we're doing is going back and
Walk back and
Back
forth.
forth.
and
We're
forth.
stopping and da da
Yes.
da da. So when he saw
Bars.
all of them, all his boys
Yes.
doing that, he's like, yo, the next time you see him on stage was at Madison Square Garden, and he was like, fuck all that. Let's get this fireworks spiral.
But
Let's get these dances out here.
yeah,
Because I can't be by
Right.
myself.
Bars.
no, because you know
But
what he
Jay
did?
said, if I'm gonna up the ante on how much more bread I want with this show, I have to
You
give
gotta
more.
change it up. You gotta
Gotta
go
give
with the
more.
time.
He actually
Absolutely.
came in and he saw where he had to follow DMX.
Right,
And
right.
he saw what DMX was doing. He was like, oh, I can't follow that.
Yeah.
And
And
you know
then
this nigga on stage
Right.
by himself.
by himself going crazy.
Yes.
Right
No
now,
Got the
afternoon,
whole
no hype
crowd
man, no none of that shit.
in the
yeah.
zone.
And
Right. So
then
you
Bars.
gotta
for
step it up.
for us, the gold standard, I just seen him this past summer, was Busta Rhymes.
Right.
Busta Rhymes was just standing up there, and I can't even front. I love when they had this lineup. They had Tribe, they had Outkast, Tribe, Fugees, and Busta. And when I saw the different things, I was like, yeah. And I looked at it, I said,
I
yeah.
love it.
Look, I said, Outkast, they're gonna learn from this show.
Right,
Because
right.
they look, because guess
You
who they
gotta
had
leave my
open?
outcast alone. That's the second time you can talk about my outcast.
Look who opened. They let Buster open. I said, oh, these guys don't know.
Oh yeah, they don't know.
They don't know. They don't know.
Like we're gonna let Buster open, then have Outkast, and then they had the Fugees and Tribe closed it. And it was like, yeah, don't let Buster open no
No,
more.
because they still even when Tribe get on, they still talking about Buster going first.
Yeah, absolutely, because they brought him back.
Man.
And then when Fugees and Lauren and Wyclef killed it because they started going a cappella and then they was playing the guitar. So it was crazy. But I'm gonna ask you some questions, all right? So
Oh, wait for that. I got 4 questions I want to ask before we get to that. 4 quick ones. I need you to think a little bit, Elder Sensei.
Right.
So you gotta get ready. These 4 questions. I just need you to finish the sentence. This is before you get to him, all right? So it say hip hop gave me, and then you finish the sentence. Hip hop gave me
Life.
hip hop saved me.
Saved me many times.
Hip hop taught me.
Hip hop taught me how to be a better person.
And hip hop brought me
A career that I never thought I would ever have.
Bars.
I'm good. Bars on that. So over to you. I'm good.
So
I love that. Thank you. All right. Oh, it's on you now.
All right. So now, before we get to this or that, I'm going to ask you this question because you are a connoisseur. Connoisseurs is you have so many years at the expert level, so you're no longer just a
Bars.
novice and everything. So, being a hip hop connoisseur, can you give us your top 5 hip hop artists of all time?
yep, and it's always gonna be the same. It don't never change. My top 5, it is no order. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Coogee Rap, Chuck D, KROSS One. That's because I can't never change. I can't never change that list.
Oh,
wow!
Listen.
You ain't got no females in there, man.
No, you can't have not in that list. You can't.
Well, I mean,
not
that list is amazing.
I co-sign it, but I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there because there's 2 names that he ain't mentioned.
Crazy.
And because of what he said, I know me and him were around the same age, and I'm about to throw a monkey wrench in there and say, you don't got Slick Rick in there?
Yes, I can put him in there.
But you said 5. He might have been in the 10.
No, that's why I said a monkey wrench.
Now, with the guys that I did pick, I would have to say are the guys that molded me as an artist to say the things that I took from them. And I always go back to the Super Friends episode when all of their powers was gone and only Robin was left, and Robin don't have no power.
Right.
So in order to, it was like I think it was Frankenstein, some shit. They gave Robin everybody's powers.
Yeah.
And Robin was like, yo, and so this is I look at all of those 5 rappers. If I could take their powers and instill them in me, it would be the knowledge and the voice of Chuck D.
Man.
It would be the flamboyance of Big Daddy Kane and the way that he put his bars together. G-Rap just was the onslaught of you can look at G-Rap in the way of saying that he was an uncontrolled Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Oh, bars.
Where like when you take the control out of Kane and let him like a dog off the leash, that would G-Rap was like a Big Daddy Kane on gamma rays.
You got you.
Because when
Wow.
you look at G Rap's career as an MC, and where his singles would give you the jewels,
Correct.
but when you listen to those albums and you listen to Men at Work and Poison and all those songs, that was him just
Bars.
like and nobody could stop him. So
I
like when you
got
think
you.
about KRS-One, he was a teacher, but at the same time was a
Bars.
teacher of hip hop.
Got you.
Where
Bars.
so like that's where we get the temple of hip hop, and him as a you must learn, and him as a teacher really taught a lot of cats. I knew back in the day when we was young, not to mess with Jello.
Yeah,
When we,
facts.
when
They
we
got
when we
pork.
heard
The
that
5% is
song,
told us they got pork in
Yeah.
Jello.
Was
heard
it
that
number
song.
7? Red dye number
Look, my
7.
mother and father was already telling us to look at read the package, read the package. But when you started
Yeah.
listening to songs, and you was like, "Oh, word, something wrong with the pig." But haven't you seen the way this animal live? And you be
Live.
like, "Word, I don't eat pork and swine,
Bars.
but I know people that do." So when you start looking
Right.
up all this stuff, and when you start learning from things that you just happen to be, you just supposed to be liking as you're listening, but now you're learning.
Right.
These
Love that.
and if I had to have a female list, trust me. If
Yeah.
somebody asked me today the top 5 of a female list, it would have Antoinette in there. It would have Sweet Tea in there.
Oh.
No.
It would have
Mm-mm.
Lady of Rage in there. It's
Mm-mm.
gonna have look. It's gonna be people
Mm-mm.
y'all don't even know. Shorty Nomas. It's gonna be Moni in there. It's gonna be a Jean Grey in there.
There we
So
go. Okay.
trust
You
me,
say
I got
you
a list
say
for
you
I
everybody.
love it. We
no
gotta get the
you
females of hip hop some love too. Still
mm,
hip hop
all
people.
right
Shout out to
now.
the females of hip hop.
Okay,
Look,
wait a
That's
minute
Queen
now.
Summers,
underrated.
Top Phoenix. I got a whole list of them.
Yeah, I got you. But when you hit me with some of them, I'm like, yeah, some, but some of them ain't pin their
Those
own
is his
stuff. That's why
picks.
I'm like,
How
yeah,
you gonna
I
tell
got
him
you.
his
I'm
choices?
just saying. That man's a connoisseur. Cause I thought, look, I threw that slick rig in there and monkey wrench. I told you I got 2 monkey wrench. I
What's the
think,
other one? What's the other one?
LL Cool J.
Yeah, I could say LL. See,
Yeah, that man got
but
2.
see, LL on a whole different category of himself because when this guy's still
Bars.
like now
Mm.
he's more like in control of the game now. LL, I would say was the most independent artist before we have independence in hip hop.
Word.
Facts.
Bars on
Facts.
that. Yes.
So
So
I can say
Yes.
him. I look at LL like a vanguard, like
yeah,
a
Ooh,
whole other
yeah,
animal.
bars.
He another
Yeah,
species to
yeah, I
where
got
it's
you.
like
I can dig it.
LL was
Hmm.
able to make his own way, like and told it like, yo, I put everybody in that skyscraper, so it don't really matter. He
Correct.
come with and about to come with a whole nother record.
Bars.
And
Gotcha.
I appreciate you saying that because I hear people say top 5 and I look at them like top 5 should actually be in eras because
Right.
how do you say Biggie's the greatest and I say well you gonna put him over Rakim? You're like if
Yeah, I can't do
Mm.
that. I
like
can't.
He learned from that.
watch,
You got to go
watch
back
this.
to the
No,
foundation.
no.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
watch
yeah.
this, right? You'll say something like that, and then you'll say, "Well, Tupac's the greatest." I say over LL. Like, and then when you came from it, you kind of know, like, no, remember
Yeah.
that was a whole movement. Like when you talk about groups, I remember when people said Outkast was the greatest group, and I said over Run DMC.
Right. Yeah.
I
You gotta
say,
always go back to the beginning.
like,
You gotta say
wait
over
a
who?
minute, like, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I love having that conversation with a person that's very knowledgeable of the game because
Right.
we can agree to disagree, but we can
Right.
also give some intellect behind of just fandom. Like no
Right.
no no
Right.
no
Right.
no, we can just start speaking because people didn't know the impact unless you was there. The impact that Slick Rick had. The Adventures of
Right.
Slick Rick is a classic album across anybody's
Yeah.
board.
I mean, like, look, my
You
man,
know?
they'll play these records like they're brand new, like all through
Yeah,
the day.
Bars. Yes. Know
absolutely.
every word.
So that's why I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
I got you.
And and it's funny because me and AG had a conversation about this whole thing before, and he told me he said like, oh, I can tell by the way you rhyme, you wanted to be like the MC, like
Yes.
how you look at like these guys when you and he was right when you try to sound like somebody
Mm-hmm.
until you figure it out like you can't sound like him if you're gonna be in this realm of music. But it's just
Right.
the fact he said you tried to embody yourself in a way in your mind to be a lyricist, like a real, you know, particular. And he said, I could see
Mm-hmm.
that in you even when he said he watched me on stage. So it's like we all have influences. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
and influence enough to where you're conscious that even though you're influenced by this person, you can't bite off them, you can't sound like them.
Bars,
So it's like,
bars.
how do you find yourself, even
Mm-hmm.
being a fan of all of these people? Because being a hip hop fan, you're a fan of everything, and you
Right.
are a fan of every artist because they're all doing something different. They all giving you something
To
different.
inspire you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's also like, okay, so how do you become like your heroes? You have to do the things that made them be a hero in the first place, that made you like them
Mm-hmm.
in general.
Ah,
So you have
my
to now
heart.
think about yourself as an artist to say, you know, when me and Tane got into it, I thought about these things of why I like Chuck D. Why did I like KRS One? Why did I like Chubb Rock? Why did I like Special Ed? Why am I more geared toward the independent underground world than the more of a major? But then
Right.
even with that, I had to look at things of not just being a fan of one artist. It was like, say, being a fan of a football team, and when your team finished playing, you leave the house and go outside and don't watch no other team. When you start watching these other teams, you start understanding that it's not just about a team. It's about all these other players too that's on other teams,
Right.
of why make that other team dope, because they on that team. So it's like
Right.
now you have to think about yourself in this way of where it's like, okay, when you say Slick Rick, I have to think about the things that made Slick Rick great. Storyteller.
Right.
Yeah.
Different, he would change his
His
voice on these songs.
clothes. Yeah,
Voice on
yeah,
these songs
yeah.
to where he was played different characters.
Correct.
And
Mm-hmm.
to a point where like there's nobody gonna make a record like The Moment I Feared ever again. Tame
Yeah.
did a different version of it. But when you listen to that song, you can put yourself in these verses and say, like, when my man's like, yo, is you really in here
Oh,
with my
yeah,
lady, bro?
man. It was
That
the
was just
more.
off of the hook
Yeah.
alone. And then the hook, and from that hook goes into the story of how he meets this woman and take his man out, put the stuff in the freezer, and now I'm taking it up, I'm going. And the end of the song, I wound up going to jail.
Yeah. Just the moment I fed.
Right.
Then
So
they
it's like,
are.
so that's why a lot of these cats, when you can't mention, because we gonna forget about somebody. Everybody ain't gonna be mentioned. And
Facts.
even I learned that this past week when I saw things that I saw when it came to Jersey, and I said to myself, well, guess what? There's so many of us. We're not all gonna be included, but it
Correct.
doesn't mean that you're slighted or anything like that. It's just that it ain't enough room.
Wise
So
Right.
intelligence.
That's a mature
it's
that
almost like the
right,
list.
right,
What look,
right. But the
YZ, wise intelligence, redhead kingpin,
yes,
See,
absolutely.
but then
yes,
for
yes.
me to see, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. For me to see Poor Righteous Teachers on stage in
Oh,
2003 was dope for
that's
me
dope.
because we don't get to see them enough. And I'm gonna be honest, like
No.
we talk about a lot of the MCs from Jersey. We only talk about the West District of Newark. We don't
Yeah.
always venture out to Trenton. We don't always venture out to
Right.
Patterson. We can talk
Bars,
about King
bars.
Son, Tony
King
D, rest
Son,
in peace.
Tony D,
Wow, King
So
Ill and
like
Son,
Out,
yeah.
we
That's so
correct.
don't get
dope.
enough. Even the platoon dudes out there in Patterson.
Rod
Yo,
Digger.
Wow.
yeah, even so like a lot of people, you know, it's good that this is the things that we got to do to make people know that
Yeah.
these people exist, even if we don't all get mentioned all the time.
Heather
So
Right. You
B.
just got to
Yeah.
keep yourself out
yeah,
there, right? Is that why? So why did you switch your name to Artifacts? 'Cause you guys were something else before you were Artifacts, right? You had
yeah,
a different name.
that's funny. So we went to the label and we had our first meeting, and when they asked the name of our group before Artifacts was called That's Them. So
That's
That's
them.
them.
that them came from
That's them.
That's
that.
them.
Yes, that came from us being at auditions for talent shows, and when we would walk. All right, so Club 88 used to be not too far from me right here. They would have
Mm-hmm.
Tough Teen Talent Night. So Tough Teen Talent Night was every holiday. Well, I don't care if it was Martin Luther King holiday. I don't care if Columbus. And whenever we was out of school and it was a holiday, they had a show. So and it
And
was a
you
talent
guys are
show
there.
attached, and we
That's
was in it.
funny.
We was in a lot of them. And when we would come in, and we would hear the whispers. And my man Tony, rest in peace, was a cop. He put these shows together. So he knew me, and then when I introduced him to Tame, he's like, "This your new dude right here." So I was always coming second to a lot of because Naughty would be in these shows too. So I
Yeah.
always came runner up
Right.
to them. And when they stopped doing it to make their records, then I was left, and then I got Tame. So people knew me, and they're like, "Oh, who this guy?" So me and Tame would go in there and roast these cats, do the shows, and then after a while, every interview was like, "Oh, that's them dudes right there. That's them cats right there. I don't know their name, but that's them right there."
That's
So
dope.
we
That's
we, we
them.
kept that. We
That's
kept that.
them.
But when we went to the label and we said
Okay.
it to them, they was like,
Got you.
"Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that one. Yeah, it's all right, but yeah, come up with something else." We was on
Got
that
you.
path train going home defeated, like, damn, what we gonna do? Like
uh,
we've been that them for a couple of years now. So
Yeah.
right.
The
I just happened to
artifacts.
looked at Tame. We looking. I mean, I'm out in my mind. I'm thinking about this nigga do graffiti. I'm a b-boy. I don't know. We still talk about this. This is really coming out of the early '90s was the coming out phase of the '80s. So
Correct.
Right.
all
I
the
think
things
they
we was
mentioned
doing.
that on. I'm sorry, on wrong side of the
Look,
tracks. You missing that on that lyric. I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, you can get to this. He says, it says, I load my backpack with spray paints and markers to spark. The
Mm-hmm.
tag I never drip. I catch the path. Take a
Yes.
trip.
Yep.
Already in there. That's bars. I
Bah.
love that. I love that.
And
I love
we
that.
was we really didn't know what to. I was like, "Dang, what we gonna do?" I looked at him. I thought about him. I thought about me. I thought about what we stood for, and I was like, "Damn, yo, hold up, artifacts." I don't know why I
I
said it, but it came
love
out. It
that.
came out. So of course we
And
ain't got no phone,
you never go
ain't no
away. You
Google,
never go
or no
away.
Google or nothing. We went home, looked in the dictionary, looked in the encyclopedia. Of course, we knew what it meant, but we just like, yo, we need to see it in writing. So we wrote all that down. And when they asked us if we change the name, we was like, yeah. We was like, all right, we're gonna have another meeting. We go back to the label. Now we sitting there, and I looked at Tane, and with my chest sticking all the way out, damn near busting out my shirt. I was like, artifacts. They was like, there, yes, yes. Okay, now
That's it.
let's go in this side room over here, and all night we're gonna go in this room and see if there's anybody else that's named artifacts in hip hop. So
Yes.
that was how we was able to keep the name.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. So we
Appreciate it.
got this thing that we do is this or that. All right. I'm gonna ask you a question. So now, for instance, if let me just say uh something that's real easy. Um Honey Nut Cheerios or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Which one would you pick?
Cinnamon toast crunch. So if I say cinnamon toast crunch, I say that or this.
No. You just say Cinnamon
No.
Toast Crunch.
Okay,
That's
okay,
it.
cool.
All right. Because you could say both or neither, because I'm going to ask you some easy ones, which are layups, and then I'm going to ask you some stuff that's really difficult. You
Alley-oops.
know, yeah. Because some people was like, man, he's easy. I hit him a hard one. Then they sitting there. Oh. I was like, all right, man. Yeah. You asked for the top ones, right? So I
There
always
we
like
go.
this one. I like this one. See where you at. Jordan or LeBron? Damn, that's hard for him. Shit,
Nah,
man.
I say
Draymond.
Jordan. I say Jordan. I say Jordan.
All right. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go with something a little bit easier. You go with the Jets or the Giants?
Jets.
The hell wrong? Okay, you just
Cause
don't.
I ain't now. I hate the Giants, bro. I hate the Giants. All my friends are Giant fans, bro.
Oh my
It's
God!
his choice. Oh, you
All
can't.
right,
You can't.
I
Right, and
ain't saying that.
I'm a secret Jet fan. Shh.
Yeah, it's only three of y'all. It's only three of y'all. All
No, it's not.
three of
No,
y'all.
it's not. It's a lot of it.
It's five.
All three of y'all.
But I'm a Niner dude. But Jet, I'll say Jets.
We
Oh,
gotta
oh,
keep
that's
going. We
that's
gotta keep
that's
going.
that's that's Malik.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Um, would you rather have a steak and take or a whiting fish sandwich?
Steak and take.
Oh wow, no, I'm going. It's county all day. Okay. Okay. Let's get a little harder. Big Daddy K or Rakim?
No, it's not
Mm.
that hard. I say Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, bars. Woo. He know what he likes. He said he know what he likes. That's
All
why
right.
he added Sensei.
Well, let's go a little further, shall we?
Hey, look, when you go up on stage looking like somebody, that got to be your influence a whole lot.
Yeah, got you. Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas,
Got you.
That's my
Okay.
dog.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie,
Okay. All right.
and I met both.
I got you. All right. Let's see what you do. This one is aimed at Jay Tanae. All right. Fugees or Outkast?
Outcast.
Okay.
You.
Whatever.
My God. Hey,
Whatever.
Hey, I can't
Southern
lie. I can't lie.
playalistic. Look,
Whatever.
Southern playalistic
Okay.
Cadillac music.
Easy,
That's my
Yeah.
easy,
jam. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm
easy.
chill. All right.
Okay. Steph Curry or AI?
Woo! Damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now I gotta go AI.
Maybe.
AI, my guy, man. That you gotta say AI. It's like it's easy to pick Steph because Steph he make every damn shot. So it's like I would
That's
say
water.
I've never seen people do what AI have done. Even though Steph Curry's shooting the jump shot, his accuracy is ridiculous. So, but I still say AI. AI then went down in the fucking wolf territory to get points that he has. So I gotta give it to him.
Bars on that. All right, Big O. Keep on moving.
Okay. All right. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. All right. Essex County or Union County?
That's his county.
Ah, boo. All right. Give me some. Look, give me easy one. Let's give it
You
a
already
hard
spoke
one.
on that.
Yeah. Look, that was an easy one. All right. Now give a hard one. Queen Latifah or Lauryn Hill?
Queen Latifah.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Got
All
the
right.
queen in the house. Shout
Okay.
out to Queen
All
Latifah.
right.
She was first. She was first.
All right. Okay. Let's see.
And she's the princess of the posse because she is the cool girl.
Okay. All right. Wu-Tang or Tribe?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
If I had a shot in front of me, I'd drink a shot.
Yeah.
But
Say both.
I
You
would
can say
say
both or neither. That's you.
Tribe.
Tribe.
I love Tribe.
All right. Okay.
Tribe
Samuel,
shaped my childhood
I
before
got you.
Wu-Tang.
I got you. All right. Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel?
Damn, that's a hard one. Like, even though Samuel, I give it to Samuel Jackson. I give it to Samuel Jackson. He did one of
Okay.
my two of my more favorite movies, Afro Samurai. So I can't.
Okay. All
gotta give
right.
him.
Look, I told you I'm gonna throw some easy ones and some
Yeah,
hard ones mixed in
you
it.
got me on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Ben or Dr. Clark?
Say again.
Dr. Ben, Dr. Johannes Ben or Dr. Clark? John Henrik Clark.
Clark.
Got you. All right. That's for all the internet intellectuals that know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I would have just picked one like I knew. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me end it. Start ending it with the last three. I'm gonna give you some stuff that you got to think a little bit. Grandmaster Flash or DJ Kid Capri?
Flash. It's Flash because it wouldn't be no King if it wasn't for Flash.
If it wasn't
Hey,
for no
got
flash.
you.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Respect.
Look. I got you. Much respect. I gotta hit him with some Newark stuff. All right. Okay. Chancellor Ave or Prince Street?
Shit.
Shit.
Oh man, you wild. All right.
I know what
Which
I would
Prince
say
Street you talking
because they
about? You
got a
talking
good
about
The
now
Prince
Prince
Street.
Street?
No,
Prince.
then.
Oh, now because now
Then.
was good. Now was all right.
Yeah. Then.
You cannot compare Chancellor Avenue and motherfucking Prince Street. Boy, I don't know if we can curse. I know how to curse like 3 times. I don't know if we can, but man.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody that's watching, the reason why you can't compare the two is because Prince Street is the equivalent to like the Carter, but like multiple Carters in the neighborhood. Like
5 Carters.
Prince Street, hey, listen, it was these dudes named and Zoom, twin brothers.
Wow. And Zoom.
Notorious killers.
They was in Naughty's video.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Man, hey, listen, I'm talking about. I don't know a lot of stuff, but I heard stories of top of buildings and dropping cats. I mean, like murders. So, and they both gone.
Real.
Rest in peace.
Wow.
They
Oh,
both
they're
gone
both.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
I would say Prince Street projects Howard Street and all that shit down there. There was a book called Howard Street. My friend Natalie heard her father wrote those books, and like that area was like war zone.
Yeah.
And the first area we could say in Newark where like the things you heard of that was going on in the 80s, crack, coke, dope, everything, that shit was in there in that
That's
area.
right.
And not until they tore them buildings down was where it was gone. And now there's a lot of condominiums around there, there's a lot of businesses around there. But man, like
Yeah.
back in the 80s,
Change for the good. Better.
Yeah.
Gotta change.
we ain't go
That
down
would
there.
have been horrible.
You lived in these
Right.
thorns, you ain't try to go down there.
Your
Nope.
mom be like, "Don't you go down there? You
Word,
can't.
because
You
they
can't go.
ain't
You
down
can't."
there. And Seth Boyden projects. You ain't go
Yeah.
down there either.
Yeah, I have family and people down there. But look. So now, look. So for those who know. But let me go with an author. Saying a local author. See if you know. Do you take Asadiq Banks or do you take Omar Tyree?
I know Omar Taylor.
Omar. Hold on now, I gotta do a little bit more research. I say Omar.
Sadiq. Gotta take North's
Yeah.
finest. Sadiq
Like
killing
I
them,
know
bro.
Omar Tyree.
Nah, they
For
try to
sure.
steal
For sure. For sure. For
Sadiq
sure.
stuff. The mayor, that's where it comes from, his series. The
Yeah.
block, the mayor,
Oh
all
yeah.
that
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, now I know what you're talking about more now.
Yeah.
Yo, they killed my man though.
The
You
mayor?
talking about in the documentary?
No.
Mm.
Nah. I know Sadiq is still living because he's an author. But what I'm saying, or you telling me something crazy.
No, I'm just saying from that
The mayor of life. That's the for Omar
Nah,
Tyree. What's it
nah,
called? The
those.
mayor.
Oh yeah, there maybe on that, but I'm talking about
Okay,
Sadiq.
I'm mistaken with something else because I'm
Yeah,
thinking
he
about
had
that
a,
Brick
Yeah.
City thing they did.
yeah, he had the mayor, which was a big drug lord, but it was from Block Party. Most people didn't know that if you ain't know what it was talking about, he had the best heroin around, and they
Oh
said
wow.
that he used to put it out. It used to
Lord.
look like a Block Party. So that's what the premise of it. But Sadiq, he brings things to life with his pen, but he from North. He one of the North finest out
Okay.
there. Give him a big shout out and all that stuff. But yeah, you did good. You did good. I thought you was going to say both, neither. You know what I mean?
Well, now that I know that,
He he know what he like. He know what he
Yeah,
like.
no
Right,
doubt,
right.
no
Yeah,
doubt,
yeah,
no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. So
But that
questions I
jet,
got. We just.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
that jet,
Go
that
ahead. I just
Jets,
got another question. Go.
that Jets one. I was like, oh, and then he mentioned some ladies'
Yes, I
names. I
know
was
that
like,
throw
whoa,
everybody off.
yeah, because
He
I'm
said.
like,
He said.
yeah. I was like, whoa, hold on now, that threw me off, and
But
you
you got to
know,
always have hope for the Jets.
oh, no,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Steelers fan. All right,
I,
so Elder Sensei, are you into anything? We were just talking about authors. Do you have any books coming out, or do you have any movies or anything coming up that we need to
Well,
know?
actually,
Anything you got?
I'm about to start writing. I ain't gonna say start writing this book, but I got to start talking about it with my friend.
Yeah.
He's gonna do most of the writing, and he actually did the book with Prodigy. He did one with my man Wordsworth. Wordsworth is in Florida right now, but he did one with
Mm-hmm.
him. My book is not gonna be a tell-all. It'll be a tell-all on how me
Sure.
and Tame got together and was able to last throughout the years and talk about all
Right.
the things that we did that were good, all the experiences
Mm-hmm.
we had in the studio. There's a lot of things people don't know about who came in the studio when we was recording. I got a lot of stories to tell, and a lot of pictures to share. Really a celebration of what we were as a group and to celebrate Tame's
Mm-hmm.
life because it's easy to talk about all the bad things, but
For
for
sure.
me, for me, it's not really too bad about talking about a story of two cats that came together from two different worlds to make a group happen for the masses. Really, it really wasn't. Me and Tame didn't make a lot of money doing this. We didn't go gold or platinum. But when you talk about the effect that you have on people through a medium of
Bars.
graffiti and
Bars.
us, me and Tame took pride in us being regular cats, and whether through the polo circuit and the graffiti circuit is
Right.
all in one. Because when we do our shows, we always brought all these people together anyway. So it was like, why not talk about it in a book where people
For
might
sure.
think that the book gonna be negative and it's gonna be all positive.
I love it. So rest in peace to Tame One and DJ Chaos.
Yes, indeed.
Both for those who are part of the artifacts and respect that. So where can we find you if we want some information for you on social media? See where you're going. Where can we find you at? What's your handle?
Yep, I'm on Instagram. My old page got hacked, so anybody that's following that old ass page, my new page is EL_DA_SENSEI, L the Sensei. And right now, there's a single out for a remix that we have called "The Way I Feel." My man Theory
Mm-hmm.
has it. Is on Instagram. He did the track. We're actually doing a whole remix of the last No Expiration Date album. That was
Bars.
produced all by Buck Wild, but this new project is going to be all different producers. We're going to really remix everything, change the bars on some of the songs, add new people on some of the songs. Because
Bars.
the one thing that I can't do is have Tane come back to Earth to do new vocals. So I don't
Right.
think I know he know that's not possible. But the things that I'm gonna have planned out for a lot of these songs is gonna be special stuff, and we're gonna get everybody involved. And the video will be coming out soon for the Way I Feel remix. And the one thing I want everybody to know that these anytime y'all see me put up anything artifacts, these are the last artifact moments. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no more record that's gonna come from me and Tame and Chaos. So I have to
Bars.
move accordingly. And what I will say is that y'all can look forward to the next chapter of Elder Sensei by himself, along with Mr. Lynn as my DJ from Company Flow. He was a part of Artifacts history for a long time. Him and Chaos was
Okay.
best friends. Didn't live too far from Chaos in the neighborhood, and at one point in time, Tame and Lynn both lived next door to each other. So a lot of these things that's happening right now are only fitting for the next chapter. I got like 4 or 5 albums ready to go to come for the next Bullets in the
Ooh,
Chamber. So we're gonna start that in January. But rest assured, as long as I'm here, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be coming down the line that y'all gonna remember what I'm saying right now. When these
bars.
moments come, we're gonna take advantage. I want everybody to support it because these will be the last moments for me and Tame as a group with these records that's gonna come out. But with these records that's gonna come out are missiles, straight missiles that y'all gonna be like, damn, like trust me, Tame. If when these missiles come, if he knew fully what I was planning. But I'm gonna just let y'all know, y'all gonna be happy as hell with these records that's gonna come,
All right.
and we're gonna stretch them out. We're gonna stretch them out, but this is now. This is what we're doing right now. And despite what y'all might see on the internet, what y'all might hear on the internet, the legacy for Artifacts is intact, and a lot of these things are gonna be shown. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Bars. All
Okay.
right. Bars on that. I respect that. So we got Elder Sensei, from the group Artifacts. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. On
Nah,
Cross Bar, I just
thank
want to
y'all.
say
Cross bars, nigga, bars.
yes,
Bars.
bars.
Wait a
Hip
minute.
hop is not dead. Hip
So
hop
if I
is
want,
not dead.
so I could
Yeah,
go to
what
your
about the
site.
t-shirts? Can we get
Yeah,
them?
we
Yes,
can
yes.
order it. Where do we
Yeah,
go?
y'all go to follow me on Instagram on my page for anything. I gotta it's a merch page and everything, but even when people go there, I tell them that they can't automatically order because I have something on there where you got to email me first so I can tell y'all what I have. Because I don't want nobody to ever think that I'm running a shop or a factory or something like that where this stuff getting pumped out. I'll let
Okay,
y'all
got
know.
it.
So you follow me
he's
on
still he's
Instagram.
still he's still ironing on patches. He's still
Word. I'm
he's
doing
still
all the other
ironing them
stuff.
on.
I get it shipped from Cali. They come to me. I package everything up here and see it's official because y'all getting stickers. I'm signing the packages. There's nobody else that's doing that, so it's gonna always be a personal experience. So y'all follow me on
Bars.
Instagram on my page and everything you can do there. Just DM me. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Jay Tanae. Across
Jason
bars,
Name,
that's
Big O. Salute.
KROSSBARZ. Big O Elder Sensei. We had a great time, y'all. Hip hop is not dead.
No,
Keep
it's not.
tuning in, keep listening. We
No,
are
it's not.
on we are on X, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on Facebook. Check out our website at www.crossbars.com. That's all we
Yeah.
got for today, y'all. Peace.